श्री गणेशाय नमः। जय श्री राम दोस्तों। वेलकम बैक टू माय वैदिक एस्ट्रोलॉजी चैनल एस्ट्रो सत्यजीत। और आज हम केतु की श्रृंखला को आगे बढ़ाएंगे। इन आवर लास्ट वीडियो, इन आवर लास्ट इंटरेक्शन, लाइव इंटरेक्शन, वी डिस्कस्ड the importance of Ketu and the results of Ketu in different houses of our Vedic horoscope. Today we will go ahead and understand how Ketu behaves when it is conjunct with different कारकास or with different planets in our Vedic horoscope. तो आज हम समझेंगे केतु जब हमारी कुंडली में, जन्म कुंडली में कंजंक्ट होता है डिफरेंट प्लैनेट्स के साथ, तो हमें कैसे फल मिलते हैं. So we are trying to understand the combination of Ketu with different planets in our Vedic horoscope. तो सबसे पहले दोस्तों हम आज केतु को समझते हैं, केतु की युति with Jupiter. Now if Ketu is conjunct Jupiter in your Vedic horoscope दोस्तों, so we all understand that we are talking about the moksha karka. I had referred to this that Jupiter is the moksha karka दोस्तों. So Jupiter being the moksha karka is conjunct with Jeev karka Jupiter. That means this is an individual who will definitely get spiritually evolved in this lifetime. Spiritual progress के लिए this is the best combination in our horoscope दोस्तों. Ketu conjunct Jupiter or Ketu in 5-9 from Jupiter. That means Ketu या तो युति में बैठा हो बृहस्पति के साथ आपकी जन्म कुंडली में, या केतु आपके बृहस्पति से पंचम या नवम में विराजमान हो. I again repeat, either Ketu is conjunct Jupiter or is Ketu in the 5th house or in the 9th house from Jupiter. This is a great combination for spiritual progress. ये आपको मोक्ष प्रदान करने के लिए एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण युति या संबंध है दोस्तों in your Vedic horoscope. If Ketu is conjunct Saturn, now this is a tough combination and हम ज्यादातर ये कहेंगे कि दो malefic planets का एक साथ conjunct होना, definitely in the house where a Saturn and Ketu is getting conjunct, it is afflicting that particular house दोस्तों. वो उस घर में हमें काफी हार्डशिप और काफी मेहनत करवाने वाले हैं. पर आपको एक चीज समझनी है दोस्तों, I am not saying that the karma karka is with the moksha karka or somebody who needs nothing, क्योंकि केतु एक भाव है दोस्तों. we have understood this. केतु को कुछ नहीं चाहिए. तो कई बारी हम केतु को अगर शनि के साथ देखेंगे तो इंसान शायद मेहनत कम करे. केतु and Saturn might create a yoga where he, in the material world again, he would not like to struggle to attain material success. वो बहुत ज़्यादा महत्वाकांक्षी या बहुत ज़्यादा कर्मठ या बहुत ज़्यादा मेहनती नहीं होगा दोस्तों in this lifetime towards material success, or wherever the hard work is involved to get material success. This is a combination which will not support any jatak who has Ketu and Saturn conjunct in their horoscope, या Ketu or Saturn are connected because Ketu is in the pancham sthan from Saturn or Ketu is in the navam sthan from Saturn. Why? Because the karma karka is with the moksha karka दोस्तों. Now somewhere, whatever karma you are doing in this lifetime, it has to be genuinely good karma. First of all, you have to have gratitude towards that karma. That means अगर आपको भगवान ने सक्षम बनाया है मेहनत करने के लिए, हाथ पैर चलाने के लिए, पुरुषार्थ करने के लिए, you have to ensure that these people cannot afford to do any negative karma in this janma. क्योंकि अगर वो अपने कर्म को खराब करेंगे दोस्तों, दिस केतु हैज ऑल पावर टू ब्रेक दैट कर्मा चेन। वो आपके कर्मों में आपको बाधा उत्पन्न करने में सक्षम होगा ये केतु। दैट मीन्स इफ somebody wants material success and they have Ketu and Saturn connected in their horoscope because of being conjunct or because of being in trines from to each other, पंचम नवम शनि से केतु का विराजमान होना, they have to be very careful with their karma in this janma दोस्तों। they have to always follow the righteous path, they have to always do the right karma, they definitely consciously should not harm anyone else, they consciously should not exploit anyone else, they consciously should never cheat anyone else। otherwise उनको अपने कर्मों का फल पाना तो बहुत दूर की बात है दोस्तों, वो कर्म करने में सक्षम नहीं होंगे इस जन्म में। देखिए, परिस्थितियां हो सकती हैं, इट कैन बी सर्कमस्टेंसेस, इट कैन बी योर फ्री विल दैट यू माइट थिंक दैट यू आर एक्सरसाइजिंग एंड हेंस यू आर नॉट वर्किंग हार्ड टुवर्ड्स अ डायरेक्शन, बट अगेन आई रिपीट, if we have Ketu and Saturn conjunct or in trines to each other, you have to be very careful with your karma. You cannot exploit, cheat people consciously। अनजाने में आपसे कोई भूल हो जाए दोस्तों, द डे यू रियलाइज इट, इट इज बेटर you acknowledge your mistake, you say sorry, you apologize, but knowingly do not harm anyone else, do not do any karma that would harm or hurt the other person। Ketu Saturn in conjunct or Ketu Saturn in trines to each other, the jatak or the jatika needs to be very careful while they are exercising their karma, while they are doing any action in this lifetime। प्लीज रिमेंबर, इसी केतु को हम शुक्र के साथ द वेल्थ कारका दोस्तों, नाउ अंडरस्टैंड, द वेल्थ कारका इज विद द मोक्ष कारका। यू हैव टू हैव ग्रैटिट्यूड। नमस्कार, नमस्कार सोहम जी। Definitely, why will I not remember? I was actually tied up with a lot of consultations in the previous weeks, and hence I couldn't come live. So I thought today, let me come live straight away। I got an opportunity, तो आज मैं इसीलिए अभी लाइव आया हूँ, और मैं पूरी कोशिश करूँगा आइंदा मैं दिन में regularly every day, either in the afternoon or in the evening, I will definitely come live and will take this journey further। So I was talking about, it's a beautiful combination सोहम जी, केतु और बृहस्पति का 9th हाउस में विराजमान होना, डेफिनेटली इट्स मोक्ष प्रदान करने में सक्षम युति है ये आपको धर्म के मार्ग पे चलते हुए, अपने ट्रेडिशंस को फॉलो करते हुए, अपने कस्टम्स को फॉलो करते हुए आपको स्पिरिचुअल प्रोग्रेस इस जन्म में देने में सक्षम है। द युति ऑफ द मोक्ष कारका केतु विद द जीव कारका जुपिटर, that too in the 9th house, the best possible combination for somebody getting closer to moksha or getting spiritually evolved, more evolved, or I would say to progress spiritually in this lifetime, we would love to have these combinations of Ketu and Jupiter in the moksha trikona, that is the 4th house, the 8th house or the 12th house, चौथा स्थान, अष्टम स्थान या 12वें स्थान में, if you see a yuti of Ketu Jupiter, or if you see these two planets placed in any of these two houses, they will be in trines to each other, then it is definitely a moksha confirming yoga or a combination in one's horoscope। तो केतु और शुक्र के बारे में हम बात कर रहे थे। द वेल्थ कारका विथ the moksha karka, the gratitude karka, the bhav, that is Ketu। So when you have Venus and Ketu conjunct in the horoscope, or when you have Venus and Ketu in trines to each other in anyone's horoscope, please remember, this Shukra or this Venus is not just competent to give you material success and wealth, which definitely Venus is Karka, but remember, Venus is also somewhere involved in the journey towards moksha. Venus gets exalted in the 12th house of the Kalpurush Kundli. Venus gets exalted in the feet of Sri Hari, that is the 12th house. 12th house of the Kalpurush Kundli are the feet of Sri Hari. So when Venus and Ketu combine, when Venus and Ketu get conjunct, when Venus and Ketu are in trines to each other, that is the time, friends, that this person not just will be running after material success, or his Venus will not just bless him with material wealth, but will also, take this person towards the spiritual journey. So he will definitely, or she will definitely, travel or make that march towards moksha. Definitely the soul will be evolved spiritually more in this janma the moment you see the wealth karka in conjunction with Ketu, that is Shukra with Ketu, or Shukra in trines to Ketu. And this person has to have gratitude towards the wealth he or she is able to acquire, make, or generate in this Janma. You have to be thankful to the universe. See, Ketu is all about gratitude, it is all about thanking, it is all about acknowledging, and it is all about understanding that हम लोग सिर्फ निमित्त मात्र हैं दोस्तों. We are just mere mortal bodies, and whatever we at times think that through our hard work, free will, purusharth we have been able to attain in this janma, it is God's grace, it is God's blessing, it is our elders blessing, it is our guru's blessing, and finally it is that energy in the universe, it is that force which is helping us to achieve whatever we have. That is our bhagya, the prarabdha. Understand? So when Ketu, the moksha karka, is with the wealth karka Venus, please remember, you have to have that philanthropic nature within you. Either you already have developed it, and if you have not been able to develop that philanthropic attitude in this janma, you consciously should work towards it. That means आप इस जन्म में बहुत पैसा कमाने के पीछे भाग रहे हैं दोस्तों. Maybe the Venus is well placed, it is well supported by other wealth yogas in your horoscope, and it gives you a lot of wealth. Maybe the Venus is conjunct the Jeev Karka. Maybe the Venus is making a very beautiful connection with your Karm Karka Saturn. But we have to remember, the moment Ketu is in trine with your wealth Karka, you have to be thankful. You have to, share your wealth with the needy. That means you should do some kind of philanthropic activity where you end up helping, supporting people who badly need that money, that wealth that you have been able to acquire or generate in this janma. And you have to be very careful of using the wealth for the right reasons, friends. See again, when I was talking about Ketu और शनि देव के बारे में मैंने बात करी थी, तो मैंने ये कहा था कि आपको अपने कर्मों में बहुत ज़्यादा ध्यान रखना है कि कर्म आपके बिल्कुल स्वच्छ हों. आप कोई भी कर्म करें, आप किसी भी दिशा में मेहनत करें दोस्तों, आपकी नीयत में खोट अगर होगा, दिस केतु एंड सैटर्न कॉम्बिनेशन विल हिट यू वेरी हार्ड. आपकी नीयत हमेशा साफ होनी अनिवार्य है अगर आप केतु से मनोवांछित किसी भी प्रकार का फल इस जन्म में प्राप्त करना चाहते हैं. केतु may be sitting in a wealth giving planets nakshatra. Ketu may be that's why I'm saying the moment you want anything from Ketu, depending on what kind of combinations Ketu is making in your horoscope, depending on where is Ketu positioned, with which house lords is it creating that combination, you have to have a very 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 pure intent, जिसको हिंदी में कहते हैं दोस्तों नियत साफ होना अनिवार्य है. आपकी अगर नीयत में खोट होगा, आप 100 नहीं 200% मेहनत लगाइए, आप कॉम्पिटेंट होंगे, आप सक्षम होंगे, आप में दिमाग होगा, आप में इंटेलिजेंस, बुद्धि, एबिलिटी, कॉम्पिटेंसी, एवरीथिंग इज देयर विद इन यू. But if your intent is bad, if your intent is wrong, if it is not with the intent, see again, everyone wants to do good for themselves, good for oneself, for their own family, but it should not be at the cost of harming someone else. It should not be at the cost of exploiting and cheating someone else. If you do so, this Ketu will hit you hard इनवेरिएबली, बिकॉज केतु जिस भी घर में बैठा होगा, जिस भी घर को एस्पेक्ट कर रहा होगा या जिस घर को एफ्लिक्ट कर रहा होगा दोस्तों, the affliction will be more painful if the intent of the individual is not pure, if the intent of the individual is not good. So again, while the wealth karka Venus is connected with your Ketu, please ensure that the intent with which you want to earn money should be very pure, and the money that you are able to earn should be spent for the right cause. You should not have expenditures for the wrong reasons in this janma. Otherwise, this fire, wildfire, I repeat, Mars is fire, दोस्तों. Agni, fire, the fire of the furnace, चूल्हे की आग, फर्नेस की आग, फैक्ट्री, फैक्ट्रीज, इंडस्ट्री में जो इंडस्ट्रियल फर्नेसेस होते हैं, that is Mars. Okay. However, Ketu is wildfire. It is like fire in the forest. The fire which is at which you can't control. Okay, it's extremely uncontrollable fire, dosto. Now this fire, this moksha karka, this planet which dries out the other planets, okay, it dries out the other planets because of the fire. At times we say planets get combust when they are too close from sun. It's because of that fiery nature, because of that heat or the fire that sun emits. And we say कि ग्रह अस्त हो गया, or a planet get combust when it is too close to sun. Just imagine, nobody tells you a planet gets combust when it is too close to Ketu. But yes, the process is when a planet is too close to Ketu in terms of the degrees, okay, then this planet is getting dried out completely. It is getting drained. Almost of all the Karak Tattvas of that planet are getting drained out by Ketu. And see, it is not like a Rahu. It doesn't amplify them further. It is just absorbing and then not reflecting it back, friends. So you have to be very careful. The intent of a person has to be very pious, has to be very pure, has to be very good. And the money that the person is earning, the wealth the person is able to create in this janma, has to be spent for the right causes. I'm not saying don't go out for vacations. Yes, go out for vacations, go out for parties, go out for dinners, go out and you can buy those expensive mansions, buy those expensive cars. But do not get into addictions. Don't get into adultery. Don't get into, you know, again, we all understand which are those which can be those avenues where this money is spent for wrong reasons. So Ketu Shukra connection, please be very careful for what are you spending that money, or what is the intent while you are working hard to earn money. आपकी नीयत क्या है? आपको पैसा क्यों कमाना है? आप संसार में कुछ देना चाहते हैं? अपने परिवार को सुख समृद्धि प्राप्त करने के लिए हर इंसान भाग रहा है पैसे कमाने के लिए, पर आप पैसा क्यों कमाना चाहते हैं दोस्तों? और पैसा कमाना आप किस जरिए से चाहते हैं? When you are trying to earn money, when you are spending money, please ensure your intent has to be very pure. Otherwise, this Ketu Venus combination will dry out that Venus of yours. And when I said this wildfire, friends, I have heard certain soothsayers, certain astrologers completely misleading, misguiding us when they say that Ketu is smoke. Ketu is not smoke. I said Ketu is mystery karka, Rahu is illusion or Maya karka, Rahu is smoke, Ketu is fire. And there can be another way to explain Ketu. You light a cigarette, friends. The smoke that goes up in the air is Rahu, and the ash that you flick, that ashes, the remains of the fire, is Ketu. After we do the last rituals in our Sanatan Dharma, and the remains that are left after the mortal sharir has been burnt, the ashes is Ketu. The Vibhuti, we go to different dargahs, different temples, different places of worship, and somebody, gives us that Vibhuti, that ashes tilak, the tilak of the ashes, that is blessing of Ketu. So please remember, smoke is Rahu, fire or the remains because of that, the remains of the fire also is Ketu. So fire is Ketu, the ashes is Ketu, the remains. The smoke is always Rahu. It's a very karmic placement, Sohamji, because when Ketu is in Shatabisha Nakshatra, so Ketu is in Rahu's Nakshatra, there are certain karmic tasks, genuine karmic tasks people have come in. When these nodes are in each other's nakshatra. So at times you will find horoscopes where Ketu is in Rahu's nakshatra or Rahu is in Ketu's nakshatra. However, आपने ये नक्षत्र का सवाल पूछा है सोहम जी. So while we are on the topic of Ketu, let me also tell you something about these nakshatras and these nodes. Check the nakshatra of Ketu. Check the nakshatra of Ketu in your horoscope. Check the nakshatra of Rahu in your horoscope. Once you check the nakshatra of Ketu and the nakshatra of Rahu in your horoscope, you know which are the two nakshatra lords. Then see, are they conjunct in your horoscope? Then see, are they connected to each other in your horoscope because of being in trines, because of being in Pancham Navam from each other? For example, doston, if Ketu is in Sun's nakshatra, just an example, Rahu is in Saturn's nakshatra, there the combination of Sun and Saturn will be extremely karmic for those individuals. See, we will have Sun-Saturn combination in many horoscopes, friends. Sun transits in a particular Rashi for 30 days, for a month. Saturn transits in a particular Rashi for almost 2.5 years, 30 months. So just understand, every year, it's almost 1 month when Sun and Saturn will be conjunct for sure. And there'll be 2 more months in a particular year where Sun and Saturn will be in trines to each other. That means they are in 5th or 9th from each other. That means the Sun-Saturn combination is possible for 3 months in a 12-month calendar year. That means Surya Shani ki yuti या सूर्य शनि का कनेक्ट is possible for 25% of the population in this world, because 3 out of 12 months this is possible. 3 months is 25% of a year. However, the Sun and Saturn combination or the Sun and Saturn connection might not manifest the same way for all individuals. Why will it differ? There can be different reasons, again, in astrology. They are house lords of different houses as per your Lagna Kundli. They are conjunct or making a connect, sitting in different houses in your horoscopes. Or if they are nakshatra lords of Rahu and Ketu simultaneously, then definitely this is a very strong karmic connection of Sun and Saturn. That means through your hard work or through your good karma, through your patience and through your perseverance, this Sun Saturn will give you fame through your karma. The karma Karka Saturn conjunct with the fame Karka Sun. However, if the karmas are bad, if there is too much of lethargy, I'm talking about the negative karak tattvas of Saturn now, or you are doing bad karmas, then defamation is also destined or can't be ruled out, because the fame karka gets negatively connected with the karm karka. When the karm karka or the karmas become negative, that karka of fame, which is sun, ends up giving you defamation. अंडरस्टैंड. तो ये राहु केतु के नक्षत्रों को देखिए. प्लीज look at the nakshatras in which your nodes are placed, and then very meticulously read or infer how are your respective Rahu Ketu nakshatra lords disposed in your chart. How are they connected to each other, if at all they are connected to each other in your chart? It's a very karmic chart if you find the nakshatra lords being connected to each other. I have seen people limiting it to only the Rashi lords of Rahu and Ketu. Please understand, yes, some kind of karmic debt or some kind of karmic baggage or a karmic kundli gets formed in whichever Rashi Rahu and Ketu are placed, if the house lords get conjunct or if the house lords gets connected. However, nakshatras are more deeper, friends. Nakshatra results will be more prominent than the Rashi results. Understand. And hence, you have to very meticulously examine how the nakshatra lords of your nodes are getting connected in one's horoscope. How are the nakshatra lords of Rahu and Ketu being disposed in one's horoscope? Sachin, it's a very beautiful combination for, again, in my previous video, I did say Ketu performs exceptionally well, or it's very comfortable towards that moksha, karka that Ketu signifies or represents in the 4th house, 8th house, or the 12th house of the horoscope, which is the moksha trikona. However, I also said that Ketu will also do very well in the dharma trikona, that is the 1st house, 5th house, or the 9th house of the horoscope. It will make us righteous. It will bless us with the Ketu energy. And you said you have a Ketu sitting in your Lagna, and the Lagna is Pisces, main Lagna. When it is Pisces, it is the 12th house of the Kal Purush Kundli. It is Sri Hari's feet. It is the gateway to moksha. It is that gateway to moksha again. Hence, Ketu is making you, it wants, again, I'm not saying you can't have your own physical desires in this material world. You want fame, you want name, you want success, you want all that money, all that wealth. However, a very prominent Ketu, a very good Ketu in the Lagna, sitting alone in Pisces, and if it is also blessed through Jupiter's maybe drishti, or if it is not badly afflicted by a Mars drishti or a Saturn drishti, irrespective of the blessings or the affliction. The Ketu is quite comfortable, very comfortable in that first house of Pisces. Please ensure, I talked about intent. You as an individual, anything and everything that you do in this life, ensure that your intent, your niyat आपकी साफ होना अनिवार्य है. You have to have a good intent for anything and everything that you do. This Ketu will bless you with all the positive karak tattvas that are attached to your first house: name, fame, good health, good overall life. You just have to ensure that your intent for anything and everything in this janma is pure, and you keep, you know, you have that gratitude in your personality, in your nature. Thank the universe, thank the energy, thank God, thank your parents, thank your elders, thank your gurus for all that you've been blessed with in this janma. That good, that Ketu in the first house in Pisces Lagna will behave for you, Mr. Sachin. I hope I answered your question. Now, we talked about Ketu with Jupiter. We talked about Ketu with Saturn. I talked about Ketu with Venus. Now, let's imagine if Ketu is with Mars. We will come to Ketu with Moon also, Vipulji. Now, just imagine the Moksh Karka is with the energy Karka. Put in all energies in any direction you want to in this material world. But please put in all your energies in the direction of spirituality as well. Do sadhana, do meditation, dhyana, mantra chanting, you know, yoga, okay? All that physically that you can do, all that, putting that energy that you can do, which is evolving you more spiritually. That is Ketu Mars. Because if you don't do this, then please understand. I talked about Mars being fire, the fire of that industrial furnace kind of fire. I said Ketu is that fire in the forest, wildfire. Just imagine Ketu Mars being conjunct, Ketu Mars and trines to each other. That heat will destroy almost all the Karak Tattvas wherever this combination is sitting, is afflicting a particular house, or their drishti or their aspect is afflicting particular houses. So you have to ensure so that somehow that fire doesn't burn at all. That Ketu Mars energy does not end up in a burnout kind of a situation. You have to use your energy towards spiritual progress. You have to use your energy in sadhana, in yoga. Okay? Please remember. And this energy karka is also the real estate karka. Okay? When we are talking about, the real estate, definitely Bhumi Putra, the real estate karka has to be Mars. So when you see Mars and Ketu conjunct, or Mars and Ketu entwines to each other, fifth, ninth from each other, you have to ensure that if you are in the real estate business, or you are making a real estate deal, either you are purchasing or you are selling, please ensure you don't cheat anyone in this transaction when it is anything to do with real estate. Your intent has to be very pure when you're doing any karma related to the real estate. So that's why I'm saying, whenever Ketu is making a connection with any of your planets, friends, the easiest way to understand is keeping intent very pure, related to the wishes, the aspirations, the karak tattvas of that particular planet, And also, whatever the results of those planets in this Janma are, whatever you get, you have to have a feeling of a sense of gratitude. You have to thank the universe for all that a particular planet is blessing you the moment you see Ketu and that particular planet making a connection in your horoscope. So it's about intent and gratitude and combining it with the Karak Tattva of that planet with which it is getting associated in one's horoscope. Ketu Mars can also give, if it is afflicted, or if it is, as I said, astrology, friends, is not just about predicting or reading the yogas and giving your clients just those predictions. Astrology is way of life. Similar planets sitting in two individual horoscopes behave differently at times. Just to give you an example, there are different karakas for different things. So we find Mercury Mars combination in hundreds of horoscopes. Mercury Mars conjunct, Mercury Mars in trines to each other, and maybe we give a prediction based on the lagna or based on the house where this Mercury Mars is conjunct or getting connected to each other. For a maybe a Libra Lagna, we will say it's a very good Dhan Yoga, because we will say the second house Lord is Mars, the ninth house Lord is Mercury. So Mercury and Mars being connected, though they are not great friends to each other, but it's a Dhan Yoga. However, this Mars Mercury combination, whatever we astrologers might talk about, that okay, these are the results when Mars and Mercury get conjunct, and when Mars and Mercury get connected, every individual doesn't get the same results, and the fault is not somewhere within the science of astrology. People then debate that some KP astrologers will say no, the sub lord was to be checked, the nakshatra lord was to be checked, this somebody will say no, some divisional chart got changed, the Shashti Amsha got changed, and hence, Mercury and Mars. I'm not debating the technicalities of this subject of astrology. However, remember, friends, Mars and Mercury cannot end up giving the same results for all individuals. And I'll tell you the secret today. And this is just one small thing. I'm just talking about one small combination out of those 100 possible permutations and combinations possible in one's horoscope. As an example, I took Mars and Mercury. The energy karka, Mars. The sharir karka, Mars. The mortal body karka, Mars. The transformation karka, Mars. The 8th house lord of the Kalpurush Kundli, the 1st house lord of the Kalpurush Kundli, is connected with the learning karka, education karka, communication karka, intelligence karka. So if you see a combination of Mars and Mercury, and if it is supposed to be a good combination in your horoscope, and you think that you are not getting those great combinations, though you are running the Mahadashas and Antardashas of Mercury or Mars, or maybe in Mars Mahadasha Mercury Antar is running, or in Mercury Mahadasha Mars Antar is running, but still you are not getting that Dhan Yog or that Dhana. For example, if it is connected in your Tula Lagna Jatak Kundli or Tula Lagna Jatika Kundli, then what you have to change in your way of life, how you lead your life, what you do, you have to learn something related. You have to learn something related to that sharir, to that energy. So go and join classes of yoga, go and join classes of martial arts. So all individuals who are doing classes or who are learning yoga or who are going and learning martial arts, they will get the results of Mercury and Mars being connected in their horoscope or conjunct in their horoscope more prominently in this life than somebody who has that connection in his horoscope or her horoscope, but they are doing nothing related to the Mars Karak Tattva, and they are not combining it with the learning Karak Tattva, which is Mercury. So they are not learning martial arts, they are not learning yoga, they are not learning Jyotish, because Jyotish is also connected to the eighth house, and Mangal is the Karka. Mangal is the Adipati or the Lord of the eighth house of the Kalpurush Kundli. So understand, I just took one example of Mars, Mercury conjunct, and either not able to give you good results if it is supposed to give you great results as per the Parashari principles, or if it is supposed to give you bad results in a particular horoscope. Mars Mercury being conjunct may be not a great combination in a Scorpio Lagna Kundli. In a Scorpio Lagna Kundli, Mars is the Lagnadipati or the ascendant lord, and Mercury happens to be the 8th house lord and the 11th house lord. So it's owning the Trik Bhava, the most difficult Trik Bhava, which is the 8th house, and it is also owning the pain giving Bhavas, Trishadai, the 11th house, the most pain giving Trishadai. So if Mercury owns the 11th house and the 8th house in a Scorpio ascendant horoscope, and Mars is your lord of the first house, Mars and Mercury combination is a combination of struggle, is a bad combination. However, again, you will find individuals who are not getting the negative things getting manifested because of this Mars Mercury combination, even if all of them are Scorpio ascendants. Again, it is not to blame astrology, it is way of life again. The individuals who are learning Jyotish, the individuals who are learning martial arts, the individual who are learning yoga, and you can expand it further. Just for example, I use those three karak tattvas. Jyotish connected with the eighth house. Mars owns the eighth house of the Kalpurush Kundli. Mars is our body, the mortal body, the sharir. Mars is energy. So I used it with martial arts and yoga and learning Karka Mercury. So once you learn about your body, once you learn martial arts, once you learn yoga, once you learn Jyotish, the negative results of that Mars Mercury will not be that prominent in your life. So, hence, astrology is way of life. Same combinations, I am not saying similar, same combinations in same nakshatras, in same houses will give different results to different individuals. This is the reason, friends, nothing else. Astrologers are not, either they are not aware or they don't acknowledge, they're unaware. I would say they're unaware. They're not even talking this, they're not even guiding their clients about the way of life that one has to lead, or the changes that one needs to make in their way of life, how they live their life, how they lead this lifetime. Same combinations saksham hai or are competent to give you good results, or same combinations we definitely can ensure and we can rule out the negative results by just changing our way how we lead and what we do, using our free will, that purusharth in this lifetime. Ketu and Moon. Okay, we did Ketu with Jupiter, we did Ketu with Venus, we did Ketu with Saturn, we did Ketu with Mars. Now we are left with Ketu with Mercury and Ketu with Moon. Ketu with Mercury. Let's do the most difficult Ketu with Moon in the last one. And don't again, as I said, these are just placements. Anything and everything, we can mold it the way we lead our life. The way of life can change, do wonders for us. That's the key of astrology. Way of life can do wonders in astrology in this particular Janma. Now, Ketu and Mercury. If Ketu and Mercury are conjunct, if Ketu and Mercury are connected, like they are entwined to each other, then there can be a break in the learning process of this individual. There can be a break in their communication patterns. There can be break in their correspondence, or they can misplace their legal documents. There can be certain I would say struggles, or there can be certain anomaly in their patterns of communication, in the style of communication. The learning karka, the communication karka is now with Ketu. You should do any, you are studying your favorite subject, you are studying about uh, a subject through which you aspire to make a career in this lifetime, but Ketu Mercury conjunct or Ketu Mercury connected, please learn something about adhyatma, learn, study, read something about spirituality, read those spiritual texts, read about spirituality, read those spiritual books. If you want this Ketu Mercury to manifest in a positive manner, if you want Ketu Mercury to not become a barrier or a roadblock, or maybe a barrier is the right word, in your communication, children in their young age who have a problem of speech, anything to do with the speech. So either their second house lord is badly afflicted, it is, closely conjunct with Ketu, or it happens if your Mercury, the speech karka, the communication karka, the learning karka, this is also applicable for children who their progress is slow compared to others. They are not able to learn things or understand things or memorize things that easily as compared to other children of their age. So somewhere the learning karka, the memory karka, the speech karka is getting afflicted by a close conjunction maybe with Ketu. Please understand, if you want to do a remedy, or if you want those stammering issues, those communication issues, those learning issues to vanish from your child's life, please make them read, even if small text, something, a spiritual text. Let them learn or read something about spirituality. This Ketu Mercury combination will start working in their favor. And for life, one should remember that the speech is to be something for which one should be very careful of. If Ketu Mercury is getting connected, speech and correspondence, you cannot cheat, you cannot manipulate any agreement. Don't cheat in any agreement, in any document, any legal document, any document for that matter. Don't cheat while you are using your speech. So you can't afford to lie. You can't afford to manipulate others to harm them. Your your education, your vidya, your communication, your speech, most important, the words that you're using has to have the right intent for everyone with whomsoever you are interacting, you are doing correspondence with. If the intent in your speech, if the intent in your communication or correspondence is not good, this Ketu Mercury will end up distorting a lot of things, a lot of Mercury Karak Tattvas, and the significance of the houses which Mercury owns in your respective horoscope. So be very careful, friends, when the learning karka, the speech karka, is connected with the moksha karka, the gratitude karka, the intent, pure intent karka, which is Ketu. Now, to sum up today's uh, this particular live session, let me take the last combination, which is Ketu and Moon. Now, the Ketu Moon combination is quite a difficult combination. The manas, the man, the sukh or the happiness, content, contentment, sukh ki anubhuti, moon being the fourth house lord of the Kalpurush Kundli. Fourth house is the Sukha Sthan, contentment, mother karka, happiness karka, sukh karka. It is the manas, it is the man karka. So when the manas karka moon, which is primarily water, gets combined with Ketu, a Ketu moon is a Chandra Grahan combination. A Ketu moon is a Chandra Grahan combination, and astronomically it will be a lunar eclipse if somebody has a Ketu moon closely conjunct with each other, and if it happens to be a Purnima Tithi, that means sun is bang opposite to the moon in that particular person's horoscope. See, a lunar eclipse is only possible on a full moon night. A lunar eclipse happens on a Purnima. So a lunar eclipse or a Chandra Grahan is when moon is with Ketu and they are absolutely on same degrees, or close degrees to each other, and we have sun bang opposite to that house where Ketu and moon are getting conjunct, bang opposite sun and Rahu are getting conjunct. So this is a Chandra Grahan. Now this what happens? The whole water of the moon, the juices, all are getting dried out by this Ketu. The manas now can get into a depressive mode. The manas can really, it is definitely not able to realize that sukha at all. It is very udasin. It is like depressive tendencies or negative energies. The nakaratmak urja or the negative energy in this individual is on a very high side compared to the positivity, the positive energy, the sakaratmak urja. Now, what should one do? First of all, touch your mother's feet every morning, every day after taking bath, every day after finishing your puja rituals. Please touch your mother's feet before you leave your home for work or before you start your work for the day. The mother is definitely the one in this janma who can bless you. Mata Parvati, Shiva, and your mother. And you have to also ensure that the moon, that is Manas, you cannot afford to curse anyone. You cannot afford to have any jealousy, irsha, any negative energy, or any negative thought for anyone. The more positivity is there in your manas, that means, see, you may be going through a tough period. Okay, so it's easy said than done, that to remain positive in those tough situations might not be easy. But one thing is very easy: irrespective of what situation you are, you will not have bad thought or wrong intent for others. Your manas should have pure thoughts or good thoughts for others. And if you can't, then definitely your manas should not have negative thought or bad thought for others. If you want this Ketu Moon combination not to spoil the Karak Tattvas of the moon completely, or to get you into a depressive or in a state addictive stage also, if it is further badly afflicted, a Ketu Moon combination in the second house can get us into very bad addictions, substance abuse. So we have to look at which houses these planets are getting conjunct. But please, Ketu Moon, as I said, the respect, the love for your mother. The savior is Ma Parvati, Lord Shiva. And you have to exercise, you have to have genuine good thoughts for others. And if you can't keep good thoughts for others, please refrain from having negative thoughts or anything negative about others. That means the more pious and pure is your manas, the easier or less difficult results will get manifested because of this Ketu Moon being conjunct in your horoscope, or Ketu Moon being trines to each other in your respective horoscope. So friends, today I covered maybe a lot of things regarding the nodes and certain karakas, and I also touched upon the most important aspect of astrology, which is way of life. But primarily this video or this live session was to understand Ketu being combined with the other karakas, conjunct, and making connections because of being trines to each other, because of being 5-9 from each other. So I would pause this here, and I will come up with a new live session with some other significant topic of astrology. I would request all my viewers, my subscribers, my audience to please like and share my videos as much as you can in different forums. Please do subscribe to my channel if you have yet not subscribed, but you are a regular visitor to my videos. And please spread this channel as much as you can to all the astrology enthusiasts, the Jyotish Jigyasus. And thank you so much. God bless you all. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Jai Shri Ram Dostam.